They faced each other. Fnatic got a big goal lead from the start because they won this big team fight when they were all like level 4, level 5.
Yep.
It is the style Origen likes to play as well. You want some early action going on, not necessarily in the laning phase, but more the mid game itself.
I mean, one of the question marks coming to this game is what is the ban strategy going to be in this match? Origen, they saw yesterday that teams are recently trying to pinch Rain over. Is that going to happen again?
I mean, they're doing it right now. Rek'Sai and Olaf, and at the same time.
Easy answer, right? Just to get you going. Good analysis, Defizio.
Well, I mean, you asked the obvious question. The bans are already coming in.
Sorry, man.
Fnatic then as well. They did this last time. They banned out Mythi. All 3 bans went to him. He went for Annie. Didn't really get to do a whole lot. Now 2 bans at least towards him.
Varus been taken off the table. We've seen Pekka run it. We've not seen Febiven run it. But Kalista, first pick. Is this a bait?
I feel like you have to go for it when you have an AD carry like Reckless. Ryze is also open. Source played it yesterday. Then also, I mean, top lane, everything is up there. You almost have to go. I mean, Gragas, I want to go Kalista. I have Reckless as an AD carry.
Origen is just saying, okay, just go for it. Just do it, you know. Just do it. Just pick that Kalista. We'll take the Gragas, and we are not afraid of your Rengar, because yesterday you revealed to us what your number 4 pick was, Reignover.
Here's the thing, though. Whenever Reino has been playing Gragas, I feel like that's been his worst of their top junglers, like Rek'Sai and Olaf. So, if I'm Fnatic in that case, how high do you value that Gragas then?
Compared you should pick
Kalista.
Because last game as well, Reckless went big on that early fight that you just described. He picked out 2 kills, and the one game that Fnatic was behind, that was before that everybody was saying.
And there's the Gragas race.
You know, Reckless hasn't had to carry so far, but he showed up and he said, you know, he made the statement right there, I can carry games on Kalista.
Last week against Giants, Fnatic put together a protect the Kalista comp. They had limited engage, also fell behind, and they made it work. As predicted, where did Fnatic go? And more importantly, what is Origen's counter to Kalista? Because they have to have something.
I mean, the Gragas is the counter in itself, you know, the body slam flash and get her down. The question for me is Rooney going to stick to his rumble that he often likes?
He could, but here's the thing. When you see the Ryze very early on, you expect it to go top lane. Yes, it can be swapped to mid, and that means you won't run an engaged top laner. So if you start running these kite compositions, which Fnatic has done in the past, it becomes very difficult for the Ryze to really deal a lot of damage in the fights. So by Origen first, or early picking it, Fnatic of course expected it. That was what they were talking about. If they run kite now, I don't think Source can have much of an impact in the game. But that's obviously what they're trying to shut down, and they're doing it.
So they're going against for double protection for that Kalista, and honestly, that Janna fits together well with a potential Jace pickup on the next rotation. If Origen sticks true to the mid lane meta and holds that mid lane for the 5th counter pick, Jace could be a good opening for Fnatic here in the next rotation.
And you have the magic damage top in the Lulu. Yes, okay, it's utility, but still...
It's enough.
It adds enough.
I've seen the way Huni plays Lulu top.
That's true.
It's elements of Assassin as Ryu plays it as well. Maybe it's just Korean Lulu, let's call it that.
This is scary now for Origen because they see mass amount of disengage. They know for themselves either they have to run a lot of poke into it and try and simply just deny it, being able to have a really team fight and just force them off towers, or you need heavy amounts of engage now.
Yeah, and this is where your plan kind of backfires. It's like, great, we got the own Kalista, we got the tier 1 jungle, and then, oh guys, what AD carry are we picking right now? Because, you know, both tier 1s are out, and it always ends up being a Corki hover, but you're kind of mixed the match. Do you really want to
take away the Jace?
Do you really want to play the Corki into Janna, you know, Kalista? I'm not quite sure.
Seconds left.
Okay. So they do run at least with some engage on support, but it's very slow engage. It's very predictable engage as well.
Technically, can be flex too. Could be now a top rise mid for all.
Could be. Very true. But Origen clearly, I mean, they're trying to set up a little bit of everything. They're like, okay, Corki, 3rd best AD carry for us. We might want to run a physical mid laner because we have the Ryze. So they're setting up for the Jace pick in that case, but Fnatic can still take it away here. And then I feel like Origen might regret not taking it over the Nautilus and then just save that support pick for last. But we're going to see what Fnatic decides to run here in the very end.
Mid laner and jungler. Reignover does not have Olaf, does not have Rek'Sai or Gragas.
You can go Azir too, if you want, for Febiven. It's been such a fantastic pick for him overall. And we've seen him in these protect the Reckless compositions. He run the Azir just to offer more zone control. Let's see what he's picking though.
And Yellow Star on average is the support with the least damage in these fights, you know, and obviously support damage doesn't really matter, but it speaks to the nature of how he plays these fights. He doesn't have to do anything but peel, but make his carry survive, and he does it also well. He barely dies. He's a good positional player, and Nunu, I can see it, because I like usually when junglers get banned out, Nunu is a good fallback champion. We've yet to see him very much in the European LCS so far.
Fits the team composition well. Another blind pick, Victor.
Yeah.
Official, I know you really like this as a safe option.
I mean, it's why we so often see Victor on blue side as well, because you know that last pick is coming in. Victor offers wave clear, great scaling into the late game. We had the Jace Victor matchup as well earlier today.
Jace still available.
Victor can win it early game.
I know you don't like it into poke.
No, I don't like Victor into poke, but I think Victor has innate weaknesses in the sense that he has low mobility and can easily get outranged by these high poke champions. However, when you're wave clearing, you have 2 shields at your disposal. Then it's a band-aid on Victor's problems, and then you can allow him to scale. And we've seen it so many times when people aggress on Febizen's Victor in fight. Yellow Star will just flash Monsoon, keep him alive. And then, of course, it's better that you keep that massive damage potential alive.
Look at what Origen is doing here. Everything they want to do is just try and pile damage on either the Victor or the Kalista. Nunu is going to sit there with his own ulti as well and offer a massive zone control. Monsoon to disengage. Origen needs to be able to create picks with this Twisted Fate here, otherwise it's going to be so difficult for him to kill the carries.
Definitely agree with you there. We'll need to see real level of TF play like he did in the game against SK Gaming, where they played triple threat against double threat. He ultied in and just sacrificed himself to take out a carry. He just wants to sacrifice himself to take out Reckless. You know, get those stun lock out of the range of the Monsoon, just blow him up immediately. But Fnatic's been proven to be so strong at keeping their carries alive. And
Origen, slightly annoying for them. You don't really want to deal with Kalista Janna lane, but you don't want to swap your eyes as well. We're going to have to see how they want to play out the early game.
A lot of options here for Origen. Wave clear, comeback, side lane pushing as well. Loading up. Fnatic on the cusp of setting a new regular season winning streak. 14-0 if they can beat Origen. The lineups are locked in. It's time to hit the rift as Origen look to do what no team has done this summer, and that's stop Fnatic.
They're for sure the strongest team right now, but they're not unbeatable.
Beckett, he's going to call a Sand Soldier up, and he steals it! He's going to hop over the wall as Rainover goes down!
If you make a mistake, if you have bad early game, then if they snowball good, then we cannot do anything.
They're just really good. Yeah, they're good, but we could have won this game.
If we play without overconfidence, then for sure we are gonna win.
I think it's gonna be really hard to win a major.
I think we're gonna win.
Can Origen stop the perfect season from Fnatic? The fans are with Huni. We're about to find out shortly as we are onto the rift for our game of the week in week 7.
Let's take a look at the lane matchups here. We quickly mentioned how Origen, you don't really want to face this Kalista Janna lane, but you don't want to swap away your Ryze from a solo lane. So Fnatic can do multiple things. They can turn it into a farm lane up top with Huni on the Lulu here and just try and be a lane bully with Reckless. Not necessarily the style he likes to play though.
Yeah, I'm going to my my push check mark, and I feel like the Lulu could push in the Ryze.
Should be, yeah.
I feel like Victor with aggressive ease can push in TF early.
That's going to be more debatable. What a lot of Twisted Fate players will do is they red card the waves a lot early on, and then obviously try and like start the push going.
But the first few, I'm talking literally the first 3 levels. If Evan can get that push, Janna, Kalista should always win the 2v2. So that means 3 pushing lanes potentially.
Sure.
For Fnatic, and that allows Nunu to shine in what he does best. It's counter jungling, be a nuisance, find amazing. It's amazing needs to gank. However,
they're waiting around the corner.
Oh, it's too early. You can't do that. You have to wait for the face check. Just snare him and then make him waste.
Well, Origen really wants to secure this Grump, so just wants to scare Fnatic away from this one. So now they can start it.
That's something you want to do in matchups where you have the losing lane level 1. You want to speed up that level 2 as quick as you can, and you want to do the camp on each side, so the more XP you get, the better.
Something you very often talk about.
That's misplay. You don't use the maximum efficiency on that shield right there, because if you get the shield pop within the 5 seconds, that's an extra hit with extra AD from Reckless. And again, very poor spacing on the passes. Oh, this is 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10?
I'm serious. They could have done so much better. I even taught him. I told him everything about golems, and he forgot.
Shocking. Shocking.
All right, let's start the game.
Okay, back to the game. I want to just remind everybody, at this stage last time, we'd had a massive level 1. Amazing, had gone for that aggressive body slam over the Baron wall. You can see the stats behind you. We are looking at lane, early level 2 for Niels and Mithy.
And it's actually crucial because Fnatic lost a couple extra creeps, and now that poor matchup actually swings in the favor of Origen because they can foster Ram and E on the minions if they want.
Reckless. He's gone the wrong way. Maybe the Riptide comes out. That's level 2 for Reckless. Summoner Heal's already been used, as has Flash. The Rend comes down. Yellow Star's chasing. Summoner Heal used from Niels. Yellow Star continues to get the autos down. 2 for 2.
But the push advantage was on the side of Origen, and you have the Relic coming in as well. Good move by Origen, realizing what was going on. Honestly, misplays from Fnatic bot lane in the early game.
Really like their hook as well from mid. They're delaying it at first and catching Reckless in the jump to get extra damage. Reignover moving down for the early Rift Scuttler. This mid lane here, the red card Twisted Fate will at least create some pressure for Origen.
Yep.
And then also the bottom lane. So Reignover most likely just looking to go back in his own jungle and just securing a little bit of vision for his team.
No, I was looking for the Flash Snowball gang.
Only Tilov.
Everyone knows how effective they are. Is that middle lane? Pekka seems to be doing okay at level 3.
And we're gonna have to follow Pekka all game long here. How can he create picks? Cleanse obviously for Victor, it's another reason people like it as a safe pick because you can run a defensive summoner, like Smite Israel as an example. But you need to be able to create some picks here and simply take down early towers versus this kite composition. Because if you force them, if you make the minimap smaller for Fnatic, it becomes so difficult for them to spot all the flanks, the Ryze coming in, the Gragas suddenly shooting someone back, and that can be a big problem for Fnatic, but it requires Origen to snowball in the mid game.
And amazing with an early farm approach as well. He knows he lost that Rift Scuttler to the Nunu because obviously Nunu showed that bot, so he decided to keep farming, go for a full clear base, and now he's want to see where does he go? Where does his attention go? Does he want to snowball that top lane Ryze? Honestly, Soaz is free farming right now.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good for Origen, honestly, because he scales better than the Lulu.
This is exactly why Origen wanted the standard lanes and were happy enough taking down the bottom lane. And the fact they didn't have a great start is even better for Origen, but they wanted Ryze in that standard lane. Nunu as well doesn't really offer a whole lot of ganking pressure. So Ryze should be fairly safe all game long. Amazing now. Setting up for potential counter gank in this bottom lane.
Yeah, this is not a gank because obviously everybody can tell that Kalista Janna are under the tower, but amazing. That ward just faded. This might actually turn into a good gank.
Be spotted now.
Flash is available. That's a flash forward from Mithy. Niels holds onto his. Frostbond comes out. There's the flash snowball. Mithy gets slowed. Remember, there's no defensive summoner. Ren comes out. Attach early. The snowball chills Origen's heart.
Miscommunication on the side of Origen. Mithy knew that Reckless, or Shrekless as we see right there, did not have flash, so he's expecting his jungler, Amazing, to body slam flash. But Amazing wasn't privy to that information, it seems, and Miffy not used to see him make that mistake, honestly.
And just such a difficult position anyway to gank. Fnatic was so close to the tower, they saw Reignover move in. Very, very greedy play from Origen, nullifying a little bit that great start they had.
I still think it could have worked. Body slam flash combined with the damage could have been enough to take down Reckless. If anything, Amazing should have joined to help Miffy. He just pathed all the way around and then back. Big miscommunication, and that's some of the things you rarely see happen to Fnatic.
Reignover is about to start channeling. Ha ha ha. Gets another Ice Blast. Takes a turret shot for all his troubles. No hard CC.
Look at the move here from Mithy though. Gonna abandon the bottom lane for now. Setting up an early gank. The wave is pushing towards Soaz. So that means Huni has to overextend slightly for the CS. Let's see what Mithy can do.
Level 5 for Huni.
He gets level 6!
6! Wild Growth is available! Huni's pulling the trigger now! Flashes away!
Oh, this is what Tilt is made of. You walked up, you see Lulu level 5, we got him, boys. And he hits level 6 on a dying creep on max XP range. Oh, that's just dirty.
Love the timing though of the gank. Wave pushing down towards Soaz.
Everybody held their breath. Soaz held his nerve.
Should just do the same though, back to the lane. But really like the timing. Roam from Mithy after they just lost that gank in the bottom lane, saying, okay, we have a wave pushing. That's just great knowledge of when it's gonna push and how can we time it really smart. Both summoners now gone for Huni, obviously TP back to lane, use the flash, but he stays alive and that's the key thing.
Now Huni uses flash, Reckless is coming up, but expect a hit level 6, so we need to see him find an opening. Obviously he's not gonna do anything against Februm because he has that cleanse to get out the initial gold card, but next crucial ultimate will be that one of Expecting, in my opinion.
Yeah, I just want to highlight what Pekka is doing as well. Very early cooldown reduction boots. We often see early distortion in Chant because you're running these double ability summoners, and at the same time, you need to be ready to simply just jump around the map constantly. You need that cooldown reduction for your ulti, you need the stun cards. Could even go Morel and Omicron, and then just cap out on CDR very early on.
We are 7 minutes in. Small advantage for Fnatic in terms of gold, and it's Origen that have been playing aggressively to get Fnatic summoners. You do see Fnatic, they've started the Dragon, hoping the Smite consume from Nunu will help get control, plus Rend, of course. That's neutral objective, basically guaranteed.
Yeah, that's something we talked about yesterday, how the mid-game of Fnatic is so strong, mainly due to their approach to the objectives and their objective control. With Smite, Consume, and the Rend on top of that, they can take down an objective from like 2.5k to 0 immediately if they just do it at the right mark. So,
and we know Fnatic loves to sneak Barons
they love
in the
it.
game. That can happen super fast. I like this from Amazing. We have blown the flash from Huni. He's still full HP though, so...
What you expecting? Where is he?
It's very fast. He's pushed back by Febiven. He's kind of taken over the lane. Peke up
Look at the bottom though,
Look
at the bottom. Reignover, Reckless, Yellow Star, Absolute Zero begins to get channeled. Yellow Star with the Fate's Call. There's a lot of Ren snacks. The knock up into Monsoon. That has saved Reignover's life. Reignover's trying to get out with Blood Boil, and he does. Flash forward, Huni gets rooted, locked up. Wild Growth interrupts the body slam. Amazing's holding on to the explosive cast, not gonna get needed. One more overload. Secured by Amazing.
Solid mechanical play across the board, and this is one of the few times you actually have a benefit of Janna being a ranged champion with Fate's Call. Once you use Fate's Call on a support, you bounce back to the out attack range of that champion. So Yellowstar bounces back into safety, but still is in range of Monsoon to save his jungle Reignover, and that was honestly a fantastic play by Fnatic. They overreached, they get cross-map. They tried to cross-map Origen, then they overreach, then teleport from TF comes in, but they still managed to get out. Beautiful back and forth from these teams.
It very much seemed like Fnatic was saying, if we don't make a play now and force the teleport from the TF to the bottom lane, he's going to go top, and Huni's not going to do anything. His Noflash is just going to die, and we're not going to gain anything. So they forced that play. You see how quickly they're disengaging as well, and just abandoning the tower dive. To step away, they have full ward control as well in the jungle, so they knew only Pekka can join, also with Amazing obviously showing himself in the top lane.
About to hit 10 minutes. We're even on gold. That was the first aggressive play we've really seen out of Fnatic. They necessarily needed to back away. Look at the wards in the jungle, and you can see the wave shoved into Origen.
Yeah, fantastic from Reignover, getting that deep vision out. Pink wards just hiding in the jungle from Origen, and then they know whether TF is moving to the right side. If he's not, that means he's in the darkness on the left side, so they can spot where he's going, they can spot where Amazing is going, predict it. Fnatic is such a smart team, they only need a little bits of pieces here and there of information, and they can deduce the rest. So they always know what you're up against, so having deep vision against you is tricky.
Pekka is roaming without his ulti though. I'm not sure if Fnatic's going to spot that one. Huni's going to run right into that.
Huni's in so much trouble. Gold card connects. That's going to be one dead Yordle.
It's a very sneaky gang almost
that
from
point
Pekka here. Just walking up saying, yeah, I don't need my ulti, I don't need to dance around your wards here. Fnatic trying to respond in the mid lane. Amazing is here though, they want to fight.
Yellow card pulled, Reignover caught, body slam connects. Amazing looks for more. Flash away from Febiven. He's still got cleanse available if more CC comes down. Soaz is joining. Reignover's now in trouble. Absolute Zero is available, not even going to be needed. Niels may get an assist on this one too. Flash away as well as the heal. Monsoon to save Fnatic's life. They continue to run. Red card, wild card. That's a dead Reignover. Febiven's going to get chunked out by some of those rockets, and a third kill to Origen.
So close. You saw here for Fnatic how they kept Yellowstar in front to Monsoon, didn't just pull him back instantly, but the chase from Origen. This was again Fnatic getting a little bit surprised by that roam at first and then trying to react, but just a little bit too late. Notice how they're at the tower, but then Origen is already ready to respond and have teleport as well.
Yeah, Pekka was looking for Febiven, realizes he can't get him before the gravity shield will lock him down, so he goes for Reignover. Now they want to hand over the kill to the double buffs later to Niels. Mid tower is about to go down in your picture right now, but eventually go for Reignover. Good escape here. That flash is tricky. The shield right in time. Flashes over, consumes the scout or gets the heal. But eventually Soaz still gets him with the help of that red card. So good chase from Origen, and they're scaling up. They're hitting that mid game with a lot of damage right now.
And we just saw, as you mentioned, how the mid tower took a lot of damage. Origen managed to push Fnatic down to the bottom side of the map, so you quickly return to that mid lane. Febiven wasn't even nearby to defend, so a lot of damage on these two mid towers already.
We do see Destiny being used. Gold card, insta-cleanse. A little bit afraid of Amazing. Here comes Reignover on the side. So Destiny used to defend the tower. Both mid laners backing, and there's those home guard boots completed for Pekka. Not the distortion we were expecting.
Yeah, but Pekka can get away with those plays because he's playing as a Nunu jungler. There's no threat of getting knocked up right up. Like, the worst thing that can happen is a snowball in your face, and that's pretty acceptable when you're stuck in that gravity field.
He got first blood, man.
I think he might change it. His home guards later. I think this was just set up for this one play he was pulling off, rushing into the mid lane to stop the push. So he managed to defend his mid tower by buying the home guards, even though he wants distortion later on at least.
And Origen right now is one of the few teams that manages to control Huni. Honestly, Soaz has spent more time in the bottom side of the map, while Huni had time to catch up in top lane. He is still 20 CS down on that matchup, and Ryze is scaling, Tier finished, Catalyst finished. Soaz is set for a good mid to late game.
And this is a much better start to the game for Origen compared to last time they faced each other, where we had these massive team fights at like 4 or 5 minutes and they fell behind. This here, they're able to play a strong enough laning phase. We're into the mid game where they really start doing well, and they have already taken down at least one of the outer turrets in the mid lane, opening up Expected to roam around very easily.
Fnatic will respond by at least taking the bottom tower in a moment or two. But the one thing that we do have to talk about, the team composition from Fnatic wants Origen to be running at them. They're disengage focused, they're kite focused, and that's how Fnatic pulled themselves back against Giants 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and also they respect the engage of Origen. Look at where Huni is posturing in the lane. He knows that he can't afford to move up because the resources of Fnatic are being spent on the bottom side of the map, which means their weak side is the top side. Look at those pink wards on the right side of mid. They've survived so long right now, so they don't spot anybody there, so Huni knows he may get spotted. Soaz knows that Huni's in there though.
Solance comes up, Soaz continues to chase. He's burning through his mana pool though. Look at Amazing. Flash forward from Yellowstar to get Eye of the Storm down. They're looking for more. Soaz gets knocked up. Look at the mine. Monsoon to knock Amazing and Mythy away. Yellowstar's in trouble. One more Eye of the Storm. Gold card from Peke. He finds himself another kill. Fnatic are slowly closing in the gap. Huni stays alive. The tower's focusing Amazing. One more shield. Huni dancing around.
Huni Houdini survives that somehow. Reckless shows up. Pekka's low. Chaos everywhere, and this is what you can't do against Fnatic. You have to play your fights perfectly. Beautiful mechanical play on both sides.
Reckless wants more, doesn't find it.
We can just see the strategy though from Origen. This is not, hey, we're gonna group up, take big 5-on-5 team fights right now. No, we're splitting up the map instead. We don't want you to use this kite composition, and it looked so good. And they just get a little bit too greedy, and it backfires instantly from...
That body slam from Amazing connected with minions. Let's watch that again. So Soaz, he knows that Huni's here. Saw him walk in, so they spot him. And watch the Amazing right now. He could come in already, but they want to bait him back in later. Look how he's posturing. He wants to wait for the flash, waits for the re-engage, and now he comes in. He wants to surprise Fnatic. So Huni goes low. Good Monsoon here, interrupting mid-channel. Yellowstar, I believe he drops because he eats all the CC. Soaz goes low, and watch Amazing right now.
But what's stopping Origen from just backing away at this moment after they killed the Janna? Now, everyone from Fnatic is there. More kills happening, by the way.
Yeah, while we're catching the end of this replay, Huni was actually tower dove. We'll catch up with that in a moment. Fnatic gets surrounded. Huni is down, and the bottom tower is being pressured by Origen.
I really like how Origen is still trying, though, to keep splitting up the map and then just forcing plays on Fnatic. We see early Lich Bane for Peke, so he's going to be insanely strong if he gets to fast push and hit these towers and taking them down. So Origen is really built to 1-3-1 with the Ryze in one lane and Twisted Fate in the other one, and then try and collapse with globals together and never allow Fnatic to be 5-on-5 and set up this kite.
They should put the Corki in the mid lane though if you do that, in my opinion, and just keep your split pushers on the side lanes. More importantly though, for Fnatic's side, Fevens has been untouched. He's, 160 CS at a 60-minute game. He has a lot of damage. He has the defensive tools to keep him alive. Remember, you can camp Lulu, but she will still have that wild growth at her disposal. And we'll need to see Origen challenge Feven soon, because otherwise his damage is going to spiral out of control.
I'm glad you highlight the CS, Crepo, because the gold is even, the towers are even. Dragon's going to be up shortly. Actually is up if I'm looking at the map correctly. And it's Origen that are currently setting up some battle provision and starting it.
But for the amount of action, CS numbers are pretty high across the board. You don't really expect people to have 160 CS when they have been involved in so many fights around the map, so immaculate play in that regard.
Good decisive call from Origen, not allowing Fnatic to group, and you never want to split up in the comp. Fnatic is playing so reckless on the bottom side, just trying to get one more wave for himself. So Dragon to Origen, even that one out for now. We need to see, where's Peke going? Can Origen set up that 1-3-1 setup again, despite not having TP?
Yeah, Peke, he wants to be in the mid lane because it allows him to teleport both bot and top, but at the same time, a Corki in the mid game is best placed in the mid lane, in the mid game router. So you want him to have him there, so it frees up your support to roam as well, because I feel like it's a lost resource putting Corki in the bottom lane, because he can never join the fights again.
The thing is, for now, Peke is also just trying to defend this tower, and Corki's wave play won't be enough. Peke is neither, because he also missed the minions, but I think once Origen gets that TP back...
Generally pretty vital if you want to wave clear.
That's true. Once they get TP back, then we might see them swap them around and say, okay, now we're going to make plays. For now, it seems like Origen happy just farming a little bit and see if they can get down this last mid tower. Mythy is roaming down here. Pekka can join too.
Niels and Mythy look at the tower before they back away. It's Febiven that's been sent to wave clear. Gentlemen, we're approaching 20 minutes. Reckless is approaching Pekka. Gold card connects. There's no way to remove that stun though, but they get the ghost out of Pekka.
And that's something they did a lot in their game against Giants. They would Whimsy Reckless, put the shield of him, make him a proxy Pixie bot and send them in. Seek and destroy. Go find them, Reckless. But good targeted CC on Origen side. Though they have the snare, they have a body slam, not really targeted, but it's hard to miss. And then they have the wild cards and the gold cards to stop Reckless in his tracks. Want to burst him down, so he'll need that QSS later on.
Fnatic right now, they know Origen is going to go for this last outer turret in the bot lane, because right now the minions up top are just going to go even. So nothing at the moment Fnatic could really do. There's no other objective to gain.
Of course, for the side of Fnatic, you can see Yellow Star still not upgrading that coin. And of course, working his way towards Mikhail's.
Definitely so, because they want to keep Reckless alive and they want to give him a makeshift QSS and then add another one to that. If he can start resetting in these fights, stay alive long enough to negate the lockdown, because TF will always try to lock you down with gold card and then send you wild cards in your direction. QSS allows you to hop sideways and dodge some of the damage, so very, very crucial. I'm
a little bit surprised he decided to go for Blade in this game here, if you consider the fact that majority of the members from Origen is not going to be like the big massive tanks coming in. There's obviously the Karagas, but the BT offers you more lifesteal. It gives you the shield as well, which makes it so much harder to kill him. And he's not really going to kite a lot of the members from Origen, so I'm a little bit surprised about that one. But it also just depends on the goal you have when you go back, and obviously how you like to play the Kalista with the extra attack speed.
But it does allow you to chase them a little better and add it slow on top of the speed up you get.
Do you need that with a Nunu, with a Lulu, everything?
I don't know, man. Any more slows?
I guess Janna as well. I mean, there's so much mobility.
Yeah, I do agree. Perhaps BT is the safer approach.
Gentlemen, I know Fnatic are pushing bottom lane, but in 10 seconds time, Baron will be spawning. Fnatic, between 20 and 30 minutes, take more Barons than any other team. Look at those stats, 21 Barons secured. Origen are second in the league at 14. How and when and where do Fnatic stop playing? Because with the Consume, with the Smite, with the Rend, they have all of the threat in the world when they start looking at that objective.
Yeah, vision control and foresight and pre-planning will be fundamental for Origen, but I just want to see them use their AD carry right now. Corki hit the power spike on the Triforce, even has a Magic Pen boost, but so far hasn't been involved in the game at all whatsoever.
Yeah, now's the time where we need to see Pekka go to the side lane, because he's going to offer a threat that Fnatic has to deal with. If Niels is sitting there on his own, it's fairly easy to see how he's pushing in, and you're not that afraid of an AD carry, because you can very effectively just wave play against him if you are like a Lulu.
He has web buff though, he might Valkyrie on Huni here in the top lane.
Sure, if you can get a pick. There's two
watch
guys up there. Cameras.
Yeah, Huni is in trouble. He's going to get caught by the depth charge. Flashes into Tribush, but ultimate and flash blown.
And Pekka back in base, so he couldn't join in. Normally, you really want to make sure you send enough people to guarantee a kill, even with a flash, especially because Fnatic had zero pressure on the map itself. Pekka was just returning from base, though, getting that hourglass.
Yeah, Fnatic with their dual lane in the mid lane allows them to push in first every time. This puts Origen on the back foot, and at least they can spot out Pekka every time, because if you're clearing minions, you're obviously in vision of Fnatic, so it gives them information. Really would like them to see it switch it up.
All right, I do want to take a look at the items really quickly. Deficio, you mentioned the hourglass from Pekka, so he's going to have the option to do those Messiah plays.
Or the reverse Messiah.
Or reverse, Destiny in, use the hourglass. Mikhail's Crucible picked up for Reckless, so if Pekka gets in with that gold card on Febiven or Reckless, one of them can be saved. We're seeing some of this power being built up. Rod continuing to stack. So as is Rise, and we're waiting for that next big battle. Baron's live, Dragon's up in a minute. Those could be where these fights start.
At the same time, the Origen, their damage is ramping up.
2,600 gold for Reckless right now. He's finally going back to base. He's not really been able to add a whole lot. Hurricane obviously being picked up for him. So
he just wants to kill them all at once, Deficio.
Every single one. Fnatic now.
Well, when you know everyone's going to jump on you, and you can hit multiple targets.
Fnatic now. I'm sorry, man. Go ahead.
Fnatic now. Fnatic now finally have 2 items on this AD carry. They're playing around. There's a reason they haven't done anything for the last 5 minutes, because you have a Blade of the Ruined King only on Reckless. So he's been farming up. They've been slowing down the game. Next Dragon should expect to see Fnatic go for it. As long as they're grouped together and can avoid a flank, they should be able to keep Reckless alive, but Origen have so many tools to get to him. Or maybe Huni.
Fnatic now are caught in the river. Absolute Zero is going to get a full channel. Mythy and Amazing are low, but look at the middle. We have to see a Valkyrie away from Niels. Without him in the fight, is there enough damage for Origen? Wild Growth has worn off. Febiven, Yellowstar, Rainover were leading the way. No one has gone down yet. Rainover's cheeky enough to consume the dragon and started this one off. Crab control on the side of Origen. The speed shrine is theirs. Gravity field is now timed out. Origen, they get the dredge line. Featherman forced a flashing cleanse. Consume Smite gets the dragon, but that means Reckless and Rainover go down. 2 kills. This will be a third as Yellowstar's out. Pickett finds more. Huni is down. Fnatic are ace.
It is never a good idea to do dragon and also look for a fight at the same time. Rainover was stuck in the dragon pit. Origen had so much time to plan. How do we want to engage? Who do you want to shut down first? And they got everyone.
Origen's going for Baron right now, but I can't stress enough how good that dredge line was from Mythy, because if you split up a team, you want to punish their weak side, and they force Febiven to flash defensively. He carries on that red card, slows his return to the fight, then they turn to the Dragon Pit and finish out the fight. And Reckless, he gets caught there. Good opening from Soaz. Flash there it was, I believe. And honestly, that was a very well-executed fight from Origen.
And just no frontline. Notice this, there's no frontline and zone for Fnatic because Rainover is stuck in the Dragon Pit itself.
Watch Mythy.
And Mythy is just going to look, there's 4 squishy targets over here you can go for, and so much chain CC through Twisted Fate, through Riot as well to get Febiven. He's out of the fight, basically.
Yeah, double ulti from Nalus as well slows him down. The red card slows him down, so the returning to the fight is too slow. Yellowstar can't protect his AD carry. We still have Destiny to clean up that fight, but Reckless dying there immediately. He's one of the key carries from Fnatic. That was the big thing for that fight. And that was the zone from Mythy set up, allowed Origen to do that.
And I feel like it's also just Fnatic being greedy right here. They wanted everything. They wanted the dragon, and they wanted to fight right after. But that's not going to happen. We're in the mid game as well for Niels. The Rise has been stacking up. Fnatic wanted too much at the same time.
Definitely, I feel like if Reckless backed out and tried to hop out of the Baron Pit or the Dragon Pit afterwards, and then the 3 on the left side would have just disengaged, they could have yielded Yellowstar perhaps and took a dragon for a kill. That would have been fine.
The decision-making from Fnatic comes back to hurt them right now. 25 minutes, Origen have got 5 towers. Origen also have a 6,000 gold lead. Crepper, you said 7,000 was the challenge Fnatic were looking at. We're getting close to that mark. Origen have Baron and 1 more outer turret to take in this bottom lane.
Very rarely do we see Fnatic make such a poor decision in a team fight objective environment. Sure, they can get picked out of counter gank, maybe they overextend in a lane, but poising around such an objective, very rarely do we see them slip up like that. And Origen showing that they can capitalize on these plays. Very confident play across the board.
Take a look at the 2 solo laners from Fnatic. Huni's up top with teleport. Febiven's doing wave clear duty in the middle, and there is a ring of wards around Victor. Origen set themselves up in the bottom lane. They continue to use these Baron-empowered minions, trying to get as much damage on this turret as possible.
We have to remember, Huni is a very, very important part in keeping Reckless alive, but he has to TP in to join. So if Origen pulls the trigger, they might just blow up a target before Huni can do anything. Free tower, Fnatic knows, okay, we just have to back away. We cannot just sit here even though we have a tower.
And Victor is such a good pick in terms of wave clear, but obviously he can't do that into Baron buff minions. And it just completely shuts down whatever defensive combat mechanic Fnatic has for that period.
Uxalance doesn't connect. Pekka gets gold card and is ghosting through. There's a lot of damage from that Lich Bane. Pekka gets turned into a Munchkin. Huni's going to look for another Glitzalance. Wild Growth to stay alive. Not for long enough.
I like how Pekka as well, you notice how he's dancing around the area where Huni's Wild Growth would then slow a target or knock a target up. So he just kept dancing in a little bit, waiting for the last cooldown.
He also juked that initial Glitterlands. That should technically never happen. TF landing on the spot, you could time that frame, slow him down, and Huni
0-5.
Obviously distressed with this game. It's not used to seeing the joyous Huni that we've seen before, and Fnatic learning for the first time what it is to lose in the mid to late game.
Wow, Origen, they're on the inhibitor turret. Fnatic, 8 seconds before Huni can revive. There's a couple of wards in the middle lane. Will Fnatic look to challenge? Inhibitors now being focused. Rainover's moving forward, gets caught by the dredge line. Soaz, he gets chunked down by the Chaos Storm, forced to back away. Doesn't have flash. The inhibitor's secured by Pickett. Amazing, he's going to get rendered out by Reckless. That's a death for an inhibitor. Origen still happy with the trade. Can Fnatic get more? Death Ray goes out. Gold card will catch Reckless, and We do see the Mikhails come out. The flash howling gale. Peke goes golden.
Time.
Peke goes down.
So Fnatic managed to respond here because Origen stayed for that inhibitor. But you could see how hard it is for Fnatic to start a fight because they are built to kite back instead. There's no engage for them. Origen goes down, gets inhibitor at least for themselves, but gives them quite some kills.
And their engage mostly consists out of slows and sped up carries just going forward. And maybe the Fate's Call from the combo and the knockup from Tornado. So a couple of nice Howling Gales there from Yellowstar. Had to expend his flash though, and that's important because so far every fight he has been forced to flash Monsoon to reset it. He will not have that accessible in the next 4 minutes.
Let's just see it again. So Origen here obviously is hitting their inhibitor for so long, so they're taking a lot of free damage. And now all the slows comes in. Now the chasing potential, meaning that Fnatic can clean up a few kills. I really just want to highlight though, whenever we have seen Fnatic struggle, it's been when teams have standard lanes in the early game. Gambit did it. We saw H2K yesterday get that big lead. Origen in this game here took the standard lanes into Kalista, Janna. Got an early lead, then had the poor gank, but then it bought them enough time to start camping Huni in the top lane and shut him down. And Fnatic is not a team that beats you in the laning phase. That seems to be the way to play against them. Get a lead through standard lanes into mid-game, and then obviously don't make that poor decision that Fnatic will punish you for, like H2K did yesterday.
And obviously because Fnatic's strength so far in the season has been their superior shot calling, call it decision making, call it whatever you want. They were smarter than the enemy team, and that excels in the mid game.
This is gonna hurt! The original death push by the original gangsters! Origen, stop this one out! Amazing, he's split up on the rest of the team by the Monsoon. He's down! Peke follows quickly. Soaz is being focused out as Feathervin is chasing with the death ray. The Feathervin flash finds another target. Mithy is down. A
Every
kill
single
for
time.
Fnatic.
It looks so good for the other team, and then Fnatic, they get that one crucial team fight where there's some mistakes and they just punish you so hard. The coordination is insane.
Yes. Why would you group up? Why would you group up against a Victor, Kalista with Grunals and then Mikhails to your disposal? You have the reset on the Janna. This is, I don't know. I don't like it.
5,000 gold. It was 5,000 gold. There are still supers in middle, but now we're back to an even game. 3 dragons to 1.
So you want a death push, but look at it. Like, who's gonna face like Rainover? Obviously, looking first. Yellowstar. They want Reckless to leave him alive. Yellowstar gets pulled back. And Reckless managed to survive because he goes into save. Look at the zone control from Rainover and ulti. 2 carries are split, so he's zoning them out. Then the Victor. You can't chase into a Victor. Look at the damage. Pekka just putting down the biggest please hit me sign with his TF ulti. He's like, guys, I'm gonna be right here. Kill me. And Soaz and Niels, they're susceptible to kite. Now quarter kill to Feathervin.
We talked about some of the zone control Fnatic could do if they get to have these big 5-on-5 team fights. Nuno ulti, the stun from a Victor, just perfectly lined up. Origen, they had a good start. They stunned the Janna to say, okay, you can Monsoon now. We try and blow up a target. But there's no damage because Soaz was split pushing. He had to teleport in while the fight was already going on. So they engage, whipped for Origen. They didn't manage to get a target down. And then the kiting started for Fnatic.
If you don't immediately kill Reckless, you will lose that fight. Because you can't allow him to hop around left and right because he will lifesteal so much. He has double shield. And then while you're trying to finish him off, you forget about Feathervin.
And now you forget about the mid lane as well.
In the game of chicken, Fnatic have called Origen's bluff. They're pushing down the supers, cleared out the wave, and they've now backed away. Vision in favor of Fnatic in and around the Baron pit. And Fnatic's game is now starting.
And this is not a 50-50. This may be an 80-20, given how much true damage they can deal, how much damage they can execute, how quickly they can take that Baron. 5k, 4k, 3k.
Baron secured. Peke will get a tower and push on the inhibitor. Peke on a champion that can backdoor. And the inhibitor's down. Middle inhibitor. Destiny comes out, will not get interrupted. And we have a game, gentlemen. Super minions for a few minutes up top.
And I quite like this decision from Origen after they realized, oh, the mid lane here was open, so they had to step away from the Baron. Peke also realized, I might as well just try and take this inhibitor because we cannot contest that Baron in time due to Kalista, due to Nunu. So I think that was the best decision he could have made in the heat of the moment.
At this point in time, I'd like to remind everybody, the longest winning record set in Europe of 9 games was set with Xpeke. 2 years ago. Currently, with the base
give it.
broken open.
Speke take it away. But right now, Reckless finished QSS. Finished Mikhail still earlier on Yellow Star, so he has 2 escapes out of these gold cards and these snares. The shields from Huni are getting bigger and bigger because he was building raw AP. Super squishy. He'll get Wild Growth too. He'll get the Blood Boil. It's build your own carry for Fnatic. And then in the midst is Febiven. Just gonna check on my screen how much AP he's sitting on right now. Quality, you know, casual 700 AP.
Nothing.
Nothing here.
Also Lich Bane, I mean.
Who really cares? Who keeps
Yeah,
track?
it's just Victor.
Evidently you do, Grandpa.
Origen though here, how do they want to play this game now? Because the 5-on-5 for them is going to be so hard to pull up with all these cleanses and so on. We might just have to see that backdoor coming in.
Yeah, they'll have to be wary of the poke because Victor E can lead to victory.
Boo.
If there was ever a player to pull off a dramatic finish, Speke.
I like how you just ignore it completely and skip it.
Ignore what? So the game's going on. Let's focus on the
You need to let
it go.
magic happen.
Pekka?
Stop being such anti-fun.
Anti-fun.
Yes.
Calling you boring,
Let's summarize where we are as well. 58,000 gold to 57,000. 4 towers to 8. The inhibitor is respawned in the middle lane, and it'll take a couple of minutes longer before it respawns up top.
Yeah, Origen, they had 2 inhibs down, traded Baron, so they were looking to get the 3rd one, also potentially close out the game, but as time goes on, those inhibitors respawn. Fnatic are getting pretty strong, and it's harder and harder to kill these carries. Huni still deals a lot of damage. Yes, he went 0-5, maybe even tilted a little bit because he was obviously very upset with the player cams, but he's back now. He has, let me check real quick, 498 or 470 AP on him right now as well. Obviously, Ulu doesn't have the best scalings, but over time it's going to still add up.
Obviously also with the fact he's only really using Q and auto attacks. He's going to be shielding Reckless every single time, but for Fnatic, as long as they stay together as a unit, we know they can win the fights here. When the engage happens from Origen, we might need to see what Pekka tried to do earlier. You stun Yellow Star with the gold card from Twisted Fate, and then everything else piles onto Reckless, so you remove the Monsoon and the Mikhails at least in that case. Or we might see Origen just say, you know what, we need to just try and swift push this to victory. We cannot try and 5-on-5, it's too risky for us at this point.
I want to see Origen put up 1 member in the flank and then have Expected go Ryu style, you know, go in and take out 1 carry and immediately Zonias and pile Fnatic on top of that and then use that chaos for them to win a fight, because a good depth charge from Miffy going through multiple members in that fight could be enough to, you know.
Yeah, but the problem is just for Pekka, can he take down that 1 target? Cleanse, shields, Mikhails, QSS, there's so many ways
but there's
to
damage.
I guess if we can get someone like the Victor to be forced out of the fight, that's a small win as well for Origen to play it up, but we might just try and see them force some fight with Fnatic and then just use Pekka.
Next Baron might also be a fight that's going to happen. Now we're poising around this 4th dragon for Fnatic, 2nd one for Origen, but the control so far is on Origen's side. Soaz has potential flank, but he's opting to go to the safe route. Another standoff.
Top teams in Europe battling over dragons, secured by Origen, 3-2. Rainova is temporarily caught out, and Fnatic, they're looking for more. Origen are peeling away. Reckless has got a lot of sustain and auto attacks. Amazing is going to knock him into Miffy. That's a 4-man knockup from the depth charge. Fate's Call comes out. Origen, they're gone.
This is the thing again, Fnatic, as long as they're 5 versus 5, they're so strong. Origen here, they took the dragon and they just split up completely.
Ooh, Febiven might be caught.
Did he get spotted?
Yeah,
he's gonna jump onto Feb.
Oh, he missed a body slam flash.
Look at the damage.
You could hear, but you didn't see it on your screen. The flash was used by Amazing, and he arrived just short of the knockup.
There we go. That's a black ball. Wild Growth comes out. Febiven has found 1. Rainov has found the 2nd. Rainov is going to run down with the help of Yellow Star. Absolute 0. Hold Soaz in place. Ice Blast. Reckless is onto the inhibitor turret in the mid lane. Remember, there's supers in the top lane pushing against Fnatic. Somebody has to go deal with that.
Fnatic there.
Have cracked open the base. How much can they take? A little bit of wave clear from Miffy, but a long death timer for Soaz. Pekka's wave clear will save the day, and it looks like Huni saved the inhibitor.
And no reason for Fnatic to risk everything right here. You've been winning the last few team fights. We've seen how strong they are now, so just take down these minions, then you back away here, you get ready for the next one. Baron is up in 1 minute. Huni's still fighting with these minions, but it looked like he won the fight.
And Peck is looking if he can pour it in to finish up that inhibitor. Just one more hit potentially, but honestly,
He can't sacrifice himself now though.
he doesn't have the time to do that. He'll lose the momentum, but it was pretty disgusting how Fnatic just trampled Origen right there. They seemed to be having a standoff, and then Rainover said, okay guys, let's go. And everybody splits Origen. Two of the members to the right, to the left, one down the bottom. Amazing, and just Reckless man-moding forward. He was the front line, and he's obviously not afraid to play that style anymore. Fantastic resurgence of Reckless, you know, had got some flack in Spring Split, but right now he's stepping up when he needs to.
And of course, with all the AP that Huni's built up, once Reckless gets that Whimsy, he's got himself an 80% movement increase to chase down whoever he wants.
And more importantly, Wild Growth is roughly 900 right now. On an allied cast, Pixie is a shield that goes for a good 570, so that's 1.4k extra HP that Reckless can work with.
And then he's a BT as well.
Then you get a
double life.
You get a cheeky little shield from Yellowstar. That's another 270.
Gentlemen, the new age Fnatic, they're gonna rush down Origen. They've got themselves a 5,000 gold lead. Mithy is trying to get away. Dredgeline pulls him to safety. Origen don't want this fight, but maybe they do.
Gravity.
This is a late teleport. Soaz is gonna get caught out, knocked out.
Yeah, that's not what you want.
Fnatic have found two. Amazing will follow suit. The Fnatic flags flying in the audience. And they've earned themselves a 7,000 gold lead.
Look at Pekka though, he's gonna try some sort of backdoor, can at least get inhibitor down, but Fnatic are looking to finish, they got super minions as well.
Who can finish faster? Fnatic have all of the numbers in their advantage. The king of backdoors has reset supers.
I'll answer you, Trevor. Fnatic will.
Pace race is on. Pekka's decided to recall. Fnatic are on to the Nexus. They've taken down the towers. They're focusing the Nexus. And the most dominant team the LCS has ever seen sets a new record.
And we said this yesterday. Fnatic, they fall behind, and yet they find ways to get back in the game by simply punishing a bad team fight for the enemy team. And this seems to be the closest Fnatic will get to lose in the EU LCS, for now at least. And just gotta learn from that.
And I love what Featherman was doing. He was like, okay guys, you're celebrating, we got 14-0. That's all nice and dandy, but I just want to check how much damage I did. And then he walks over to his team.
You can see the disappointed look on Huni's face. Group hugs all around. And what an effort from Origen. Origen, the Death Bush, turned it around. The original pairing of Pekka and Soaz, unable to make it work today.
But what got Origen so far ahead was Soaz being in better positions than Huni in the early to mid game. But then what gave it away later was all those fights later in the stages. Soaz peeled off to the wrong sides. He was teleporting into that death push situation, if we recall. The last fight as well, he teleported in on a gravity field. And that's not Soaz's fault, you know, because teleports are a team mission. But Origen was setting up for plays that didn't involve their hyper carry mage top laner on the rise, and that was a bit of a mistake. But still, they can be relatively proud of themselves because this game delivered to the hype.
It did, but it's just a difference in coordination. And then, as we talked about a few times, the decision making, where Fnatic is just a level above the rest. That's why they don't have these poor team fights, or they don't have this missed teleport coming in, which we saw from Origen. I still like the fact that teams have figured out how to play the early and mid game against Fnatic, so they get these goal leads. We've seen it a few times now. That's going to be a big thing for playoffs, and something Fnatic is looking to fix, obviously, in the next few weeks.
And nobody can beat Fnatic in the mid to